I've got to be seen green. Wouldn't be caught dead red. 'Cause if you are seen green, it means you've got mean bread. You've got to be seen in green to show that your stuff's laid. If you're not seen in green, you better be wearing jade.
Hi, you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tower here with another struggle review, here to discuss The Winds. You know you gotta put some funk on it when you say it. From 1978. Now this movie stars Diana Ross, Michael Jackson, Ted Ross, and Nipsey Russell, and so many other amazing Black people. Before we get into how they were able to take the concept of The Wizard of Oz and turn it into this stylistic funk, psychedelic / horror trip that was amazing, I need you guys to drop down and subscribe to my channel and like this video. I'm going to give you guys a moment to do that, and then we're going to come back and discuss all things you can't win. You can't break even if you can't get up. Hopefully subscribe to see more of me. Let's get into this movie. Now, before we jump all the way into that, let's spend a little moment on Diana Ross. Now, The Wiz is adapted from a Broadway play starring Stephanie Mills. We're gonna get more into that. Absolutely love her. But you got to remember, this is 1978. So this is when, you know, Diana and Berry Gordy were like everything. And he always had this, you know, hidden really obsession like with her, and wanted to show, you know, how grand she was and how diverse she was. And instead of trying, you know, to break out and force their way into Hollywood, Barry was like, no, we're gonna make our own shit. And that's when we got Mahogany, Lady Sings the Blues, and The Wiz, which brings me to Miss Diana Ross. Now, in the original, we're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Dorothy was a teenager. But here we have Diana Ross, who is, you know, almost 35, playing Dorothy. And she's supposed to be 24 here. Yeah, that happened. Not to take anything away from Miss Diana Ross, who is everything lovely. Love her voice, especially her performance in Lady Sings the Blues. It's some of my favorite work from her as far as singing. Now, when we get here, so, you know, we don't have to go over this again. For the role of Dorothy and the way that the songs were performed, I absolutely prefer Miss Stephanie Mills in that role. I love her voice. I think it excels in the songs. Dorothy here as, you know, Diana Ross, the acting, you know, of course, Diana Ross has always been, you know, a well, you know, committed actor, very convincing, very good here. But some of the songs here, when she sings them, they just don't hit for me the way that they did when Stephanie Mills sung them, or, you know, it's been so many adaptations now. But it just didn't give me, you know, it didn't give me what I needed. But it's not to say that she doesn't shine here in several other areas, especially with the rest of the cast. We gonna get into the rest of the cast, but just Diana. It was good though, y'all. It was good. Getting into the movie, I love that, you know, we are instantly hit, you know, with the family dynamic and music. Speaking of music, there are a plethora of songs in this film, and it never felt overwhelming to me because each fucking song slaps. Like, there is anything, you know, skip Dorothy here, or I don't want to hear that. Every single tune here you are singing. I'm going to do my best not to sing too much during this review. Y'all know I will sing. But, you know, we're introduced to Dorothy, played by Diana Ross, and she's, you know, an introvert. She's shy. You see everybody else in her family. They're outgoing, outspoken people, you know, growing, persevering, having babies. And then you have her Aunt Em here, like, you know, what are you doing? You know, you're not, you know, venturing out, you know, past this certain part of the street. You're not, you know, trying to go and take this, you know, career opportunity. You want to be, you know, content living here. It's time for you to venture out on your own. Be your own woman. You're grown. You're 35, Dorothy. But, you know, you have Diana, you know, she's like, no, I don't want to do that. What good is that? She's so scared and frightful just to be out in the world. But, you know, this ain't the Wizard of Oz, so no. We ain't taking up, you know, in a whole tornado. No, we are in New York City chasing after Toto and a goddamn blizzard hits. A blizzard. I was like, oh. Getting into the graphics and the colors and the vibrations of the film, the way it's shot, the allure, everything's illuminated. It looks like a fucking 70s acid coke Quaalude trip. But it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. It still looks good now. It still, you know, pulls you into this world of Oz. I absolutely love it. Then, you know, we crash down and, you know, we knock down that Z. I love that interest, you know, of Miss Lena Horne, beautiful Lena Horne, blowing her, you know, in there. And, you know, she falls down. And then that's when we get our first hint of horror. I get so many, you know, when I posted for this video, I just, you know, talk about this movie with other people. Like, oh my God, The Wizard of Oz scared me so much as a kid. It's so scary. I absolutely love it. And you absolutely see it going back to watch this now. I was like, that is really creepy. Or why is it angle? Why is this so dark? Like, I love that being here because the same can be said, especially just with the horrific things that happen to the cast and to Judy Garland in the original Wizard of Oz. And those horror elements there, and that witch there, the wicked witch, her being so, you know, scary and green and corrupt, and those flying monkeys, that scared a lot of people back then too. And, you know, now still to this day, like, they consider that to be a little horror-like. So to get that here, I love that they kept that going here, but it's different now. You know, Toto, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. Like, nah, bitch, we in the park, in the hood. Like, they take that New York landscape, but flip it and turn it, you know, into a whole Oz situation. And now, you know, instead of us landing into Munchkin Land with all, you know, the little lollipop, like, no. We ain't doing that here. You know, you land with the people and they're stuck on the wall, and it's just like, it looks creepy as fuck. But it's so great. But, you know, you get, you know, she dropped it. You ain't never killed no Stone Cold Groove, honey. I ain't never killed nothing in my life. But, you know, she's killed the witch on accident. And, you know, she gets those shoes. And, you know, we get introduced to Miss One. Sweet thing, let me tell you about the world and the way things are. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm gonna point you towards the Wiz. Hey, he's the wizard. It's oh my gosh, the choreography, the dance routines, the costuming through this whole film is so fucking great, immaculate, so great to look at. Even now, like, it's just a test to everything. You can feel that everyone behind this film said, if we're going to do this shit, we're going to do it. We're going to have every single Black person in this film laid. And, you know, it's not only with that, but with the dialogue. Now, with this being, you know, in the late 70s, it's all, you know, kind of funky. Mama, and all the script is real pimping. And you see that and you grow with that, you know, the further along you go in the film. But you love it. You have that grand introduction, you know, into Munchkin Land. And you have Miss One. Dorothy was killing me. Like, Diana Ross as Dorothy was so dramatic. And I ain't never killed nothing in my life. Toto. The Totos was wearing on me. I ain't gonna lie. It was wearing on me a little bit. But I can remember even watching this film in the past. Me, myself, per se, I was not watching for Dorothy. I was watching for who we're getting to next. I was watching for Mike. Now, you know, as soon as we leave, soon as I get home, I'm gonna be alright. I love them using, you know, those New York streets just to play on that, and you know, it being an urban area to make her fearful of her surroundings, you know, what's going on. But at that point, we get to what I'm here for, and we are introduced to fucking Michael Jackson. Y'all, I love me some Michael Jackson. I love that here, and you know, you can't, you know, we've grown with Mike through the years up until, you know, his passing, and you know, the change in his looks and all of those things. And I would never take away from that, because you don't know anyone else's internal struggles. But here, just to see Mike looking like Mike, and you know, he's covered as a Scarecrow and all of these, you know, prosthetics and everything, but there is so much that light that's always in his eyes and in his smile. It's like pressing through all of that, you know, makeup and prosthetics. It just looks awesome. And you see here with his singing and his budding, especially the dancing that he's getting, you know, gearing up to get into that mic. Because you got to remember, this was 78. We hadn't really got to the 80s yet, to that Thriller era mic. This is still, you know, off the wall, you know, really, because that Off the Wall album was also with him working with Quincy Jones. You know, he was the music director for this film and a bunch of other things. You just see that budding, and you just know what he was about to become. And it's really beautiful to see him here. And not, you know, no shade, but this is still when Mike had, you know, that in his voice. We didn't get to the jump on it. This is before, you know, Mike got to singing them songs that was hits all day. We was singing the shit out of them. But ain't nobody finna sit and lie to me and tell me that y'all understood every single word Michael was saying. Y'all didn't understand that shit. But we loved it though. Sung it the same. Absolutely loved him. Captivating no matter what. But this is, you know, Jackson 5. Don't blame it on the sunshine. Hey, don't blame it on the moonlight. Woo. Don't blame it on the good times. Blame it on the boogie. This is that Mike. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself, enjoy yourself with me. Hey, 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 enjoy yourself, enjoy yourself, enjoy yourself with me. You better enjoy. This is that Mike. So instead of getting we get those goddamn crows. I love that they make the crows, you know, instead of, you know, if I only had a brain. And you have, you know, those crows in The Wizard of Oz just, you know, dry attacking him. No, we have real life. And the crow commandments, you know, you have those crows shucking and jiving and shit, giving you everything that they need to give. So inventive, so great. I love their whole design with their hands and the glasses and the beak transitioning into the face. It was awesome. And you have them, you know, tearing, you know, Mike down, and you see immediately, as you know would in The Wizard of Oz, you see that these people that Dorothy are meeting on her trips already have everything that they need inside that they eventually want to go and get for the Wiz. And of course we have Michael Jackson here as the Scarecrow wanting a brain. And you know, after the Crow Commandments and the Crow Anthem, and we get that soul of you can't win. You see, I just have to do that when I sing it. It is so good. Absolutely love the songs, and it speaks so much, you know, to the time and to the era. And it's just a song that you can just sing overall. Like, I would just go listen to You Can't Win just to sing it and just to hear Mike. It is so great. Oh, his rendition is so good. And then you also have Dorothy here, who's very shy, very frightful. Get her courage up. Go about your business. Get those damn crows out of there, and, you know, get him down. So you mean to tell me the only thing standing between me living down here, living it up with y'all, was them damn crows? And I just love the mess. You know, you were just the product of some negative thinking. I absolutely loved it. And you also see, you know, just how smart he is, because he finds that yellow brick road that she can't seem to find. You know, go on to the yellow brick road and never take those shoes off, honey. And they're looking, here, ease on down the road. I love Mike using his body as an instrument here, where he's, you know, he can't walk and he's trying to figure it out, but he's low-key popping and locking that shit. Fucking love Mike. He is such an icon, and you see that budding here, no bars. It's always been there. He's always been a star. But, you know, after we leave, you know, that, and we instantly get into everything here is so iconic. You can't help but sing, because the songs have stood the test of time. So instead of We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. We ain't saying that shit here. I love the Wizard of Oz also, but we get ease on down, down the road. Come on in, ease on down, hey. Don't you carry nothing that might be alone. Come on, ease on down, hey, down the ba-da-da. Absolutely love it. And this is where Diana, being Dorothy, shines with me as far as her singing. When she's singing with counterparts in the film, that illuminates her so much to me and enhances her singing. It really pulls me into the song, preferably, just with her singing by herself. Loved it. Now, of course, after we leave, we get that Scarecrow, we have to find our other two friends, and that's when we get into Nipsey Russell playing the Tin Man here. Now, because we already have Mike, let's not forget these horror elements. Everybody here looks low-key scary as fuck. You have Mike as the Scarecrow. That could be in any horror movie any day. You remove that little button, Reese's Pieces gumdrop nose, horror. So when we get to the Tin Man, the Tin Man in the Wizard of Oz, shiny, very silver-like, and very clean. But we get to, the amusement. There's not much amusement to the closing of the amusement park. And we have, Nipsey Russell here with the Tin Man. He's very rugged, rusty, all kind of different parts. And the way that his face is contoured with the metal, it gives you a little creep. It just does. And all the things around the amusement park just looks, But I love it when we get to him and a seat cushion for teen. Oh, it's so great. You're not distracted by, it's a little scary, but look at this performance. Listen to these songs. Look at it tap dancing. Hey, 2 bits. Man, when we get into that, please tell me what would I do if I could be, I could cry, hey, I could smile, hey, lay back for a while. Please tell me what would I do? Like, man, absolutely love the songs. I think we love the songs so much because they're not just pertaining to the play. Some, things are just, really good in that moment of the musical or that play or that whatever. No, these are songs that captivate you because they have real meaning and they're so relatable. You really feel them. So when he says, what would I do if I could feel, and, him wanting to go to the Wiz to get that heart, even though you get nobody home in Soulville. Like, no, baby, you had soul the whole time. But we get that grand song and we get them, those nice dance numbers. And of course we get slide some oil to me. Hey, hit my shoulder blades. You get laying there in one position. Woo! Show done made me tired. Now watch me dance. So fucking good. And then, of course, we get to Fleetwood Coupe DeVille. Mama had an idea, you know what I'm saying? We get into Ted Ross portraying the lion. I absolutely love the costuming choice from the lion. It's almost like a mink fitted ass coat. He has this curl perm lion mane. His makeup on his face is so awesome. I absolutely I'm ready to fight. Turn your day into night, cause I'm a mean old lion. Hey. Absolutely love it. But you have him, I also love that running theme in the show with them, in the movie, with them not being able to get a taxi and they all stay off duty because you can never catch a fucking taxi in New York. Brilliant, fucking brilliant. I love it. But it's, it's really kooky and quirky and such a joy to watch. Like, why people can't be free to create anymore? Just do some shit. Try something new. We always getting the same stuff. But, we have him, trying to, prove that he's so strong. And I kick your ass. I'm the mean old lion. We get out my way. Busting out and scaring the shit out of everybody. But then when Toto comes over and bites him, he bit my paw. Oh! King of the jungle. King of the cowards. Like, no. And, we found out that he's a IOBK. Incapable of being king. Like, no, you don't have any courage. You don't, and we have that bond with them and him and he wants to go and get some courage. I absolutely love the themes here. So now that we've established what everyone is going to the Wiz to get, we really get into those strong horror elements in this goddamn movie. We get into them, going down into the subway. I love that sign. It says like get down, like they're going into, fiery pits or some shit. And you have those color splashes of red and orange and yellow hues. Like, I think it was low-key supposed to be like hell, I swear. But after they've eased on down the road a little bit more, we get into this entity, this little man who has been following them and watching them throughout the whole film. And, he appears and he has these whatever the hell that means. And they freaking inflate and follow them and attack them through this goddamn subway. Like, who was that for? What family of kids was looking at this and going, oh, this is creepy as fuck. This is low-key really scary. And you have, things come to life and, attack them. Michael Jackson, the trash cans and, the Dorothy, the pillars in the damn subway station are coming in and closing in on her. He's getting, Tin Man's getting electrocuted. Like, what in the hell? But, they use that as an opportunity for the lion to really show, his courage and, save everybody. And, at that point, we've also had Michael Jackson as that Scarecrow dropping hits of being wise and reading. I love that, the paper, the trash inside of him is filled with, philosophy and quotes. Brilliant. And of course, we have the Tin Man throughout the whole film showing his love and his affection and his heart to everyone in the film. Absolutely love it. But that's a whole horror element right there. Then we get into these goddamn poppies. I absolutely love that. And, the Wizard of Oz, Dorothy, and, they just faint. And, those poppy fields of flowers. No, not in this. We get some funky 70s ass hoes as goddamn poppies. Like, I'm like, what they selling? What they do? This look real prostitute. But you have, those poppies. They come in and child, they all voluptuous, snacking. I was like, all right. I love that there. But you have out of the frying pan into the fire. This looks like a setup. Michael Jackson was showing out. I absolutely love him in this film. But you have them faint. And then yet again, we have, another song with the line, be a lion. We have that song there with them, on that rooftop, once he a teen and wakes them up. I absolutely love that moment. And I love that song, of course, because it's not Diana singing by herself. It's with Ted Ross. But it's at this point that we get into my favorite part of the film, the glamour, the styling of it all, when they actually make it to Emerald City. I love when they try to get in and, the guards are sitting at the door like, the workers go around back. Like, nah, we're here. We ain't here for that. But, they see Dorothy's shoes and, let them in. Oh my goodness. How everything is illuminated, and it's about like 100 goddamn people out there and they all look beautiful. And then we get into the color scheme of it all. You've got to be seen in green to show that your stuff's laid. Hey, if you're not seen in green, you better be wearing jade. Y'all do not know, like this part right here, this shit right here, this is my shit. Just to look at it, we don't see shit. Like, to see everybody, every single character on screen be fully layered, like nobody look like, oh, we just background, we just go and throw them a little red here, a little green here. Like, no, it was so much attention to detail here, and for everybody to break out into like flash mob ass dance, and you have them kind of circling around in a little corridor area, kind of worshiping everything this wizard says. It's so great to look at. And we get that scene in red, and we get, ooh, 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 I wouldn't be caught dead. And if I'm caught at all, then catch me in dead red. Like, are you you got to be real hot. So throw away those green gems and rubies on your yacht. I'm trying so hard not to sing everything, but like, oh, just the production on the music side. Now, I do know a lot of the songs were original and adapted from the Broadway play, but a lot of the songs, a lot of the songs that weren't original songs are, you know, from the mind of Quincy Jones, you know, Ashford and Simpson, solid as a rock. They had their little hand in there too. It is so good, y'all. Like the funk, the bass, the percussion, the guitar, like, But you know, after we get into all that beauty, all that Studio 54 looking esque, like it looked real funky. Like, man, like just looked like somewhere you want it to be. But you know, after we get into the way it's changing those colors and him noticing Dorothy's shoes, he wants her to come up. And Dorothy, not being shy and finding all of the backbone she ever thought she would need, it says, no, I'm not coming up without my friends. No riffraff. Like, no, we coming up. But you have them come up. And of course, we have the Wiz here being portrayed by Richard Pryor. You know, as soon as you hear him commanding those colors, you know Richard's voice, so you know it's him. Really great performance on his part here. I love when they see him and it's just, you know, that large, menacing metal head spewing out those, you know, negative comments. And what do you want, you honking piece of junk? I love it when Michael comes up and he's like, Your Majesty, I want to bring some of your great wisdom. And you know, you have the line, I want to get the hell out of here. Like, it's so funny. But he informs them, you know, she's like, I want the shoes. Like, no, I'm not giving you my shoes. Like, okay, well, I'm not helping you get home or helping your friends get anything you need unless y'all go and kill Eveline. Oh, we get into Eveline's ass. I'll always love that little tidbit that they have in the Emerald City Motel. Like, all the detail here, everything was illuminated in the colors. Very, very beautiful movie. But we get into them going down, getting down and going, and we are introduced to goddamn Eveline. Child, played by Mabel King. Now, Mabel King, if you was, you know, a little older, or if you're just like me and you're not, and you just was watching shit and you watch What's Happening, Mama, Roger's mama, about to get that ass whooped, is portrayed by her. And this, between that and this, these are the only real, like, 2 roles that I know of her. But hell, this one here was enough. She is so great here as that wicked witch. Oh my goodness. Like, and that's when we get into, you know, the sweatshop. I love, you know, the stylish and them working and it's scarves and everything's flowing. Back to work, and she's whipping, and it's so everything here is so beautiful, even when it's bad and it's funky ass Eveline. I love when we're introducing the flying monkeys. And the flying monkeys look like a mix between like George Clinton and Bootsy Collins. Fucking hilarious. And of course, that's when we get into don't nobody break me. No bad news. Say no bad news. No bad news. No bad news. No bad news. It kind of feels like church. If you're gonna bring me something I can use. But don't nobody break me. No bad news. It's so great. I love the makeup on her. I love the fact that her fucking throne is a goddamn toilet. Now here's where the movie slowly kind of loses some of its ground. Even though we're going to love it no matter what, like, who gives a damn? But this is apart from the reason why this wasn't some mash, you know, hit, especially back then. Now, in the beginning, we don't get as much time with Dorothy as we did in the original Somewhere, you know, to really feel sincere in depth for her character. We're just kind of really quickly whisked away to the Land of Oz. But that's, you know, give and take there. But I do think that the film kind of took away a lot from certain sequences being so long, especially, you know, musical numbers. Like, you know, when we're seen in green and, you know, gold and everything is lasting a very long time. So, you know, the story just kind of like, okay, but who gives a damn? Like, we were loving it. We were loving to see it because we don't get to see this shit too often. So once we get into Eveline and her kind of being a secondary character in the movie, we saw the witch. We saw her menacing, you know, so much and all her green, I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too. Like, we saw her immediately, you know, as soon as she got into Oz, and she was a really big villain within the film. Whereas Eveline, we just kind of saw her immediate at that moment, and she had her dance number, and we didn't see her throughout the film. Now, we did see the little following them throughout the film, and I am assuming that that was, you know, a minion of Eveline, because, you know, we saw, like, once we got into Eveline's sweatshop that, you know, the poppies and the flying monkeys and the crows, all the bad elements in Oz were working for her in this kind of chain gang type situation. But I don't think it helped that we only saw her at that moment and we didn't see her throughout the film, which I think it really would have benefited if we did, because she was such a grand big character with so much personality. So it doesn't hit as hard when we get to her and they're captured and she's torturing their friends. I absolutely love that scene. You want ketchup or mustard on your hot dog, dear? You know. No, Toto, don't worry, lovely, it doesn't hurt at all, you know, that whole thing. And don't give him the shoes, Dorothy. And we have, you know, her pull that I'm allergic to water, and she goes and melts and flushes down the toilet. Very great scene, but that is where, you know, things kind of go astray. And it really goes astray when we get this really long dance sequence in the sweatshop. I don't give a damn. I fucking love it though. Like, of course, we have, you know, that all them singing and those hard, like, everybody looks ugly and they're a reflection of Eveline up until she dies, and everybody's kind of like everything's swept away, and there's like a whole awakening, and we get that, can you feel a brand new day? Actually, fucking awesome. I love it. But the sequence is really long because we go from, you know, them being, you know, horrid, and then we get, you know, these beautiful people coming out and they're shedding like this new skin, and it's like it turns into this whole Alvin Ailey dance studio moment. Absolutely love it though. It's great. Now, after that, we really get into Richard Pryor, and that's when things, you know, kind of get a little wonky also, with them, you know, finding out that the wizard isn't actually, you know, a big whiz. And, you know, Richard Pryor is telling his story like only Richard Pryor came down, hot air balloon, yeah. But I love it. And you have, you know, Dorothy feeling like, you know, you sent us there, even though you knew we wouldn't ever come back. And he's like, no, I'm in the same boat with you guys. I need some of the same shit that you have. I was scared and frightful of losing my position and being able to reign over these people and enjoy, you know, spewing out these things and having people, you know, fall at my every whim. But I also want you guys to stay here and talk to me. Just talk to me, yell at me, do something. Just don't leave me here alone. And, you know, you have that big moment there, which we absolutely love, and them finding compassion for him. And also with Dorothy and everybody else finding out you guys already had what you always needed all along. It was always there inside. You never needed the whiz to give you anything, which is, you know, the real big message of this movie. It's inside, y'all. It's inside. Look in the eyes, not the noses. It's inside. And we also, you know, end with Lena Horne playing, you know, the good witch with her beautiful self floating, real acid trip like, with the little babies in the background. It's like, what the hell is going on here? But she's all shiny and sparkly. You'll know. Believe in yourself. Ooh, because I believe it. You know, we have that whole that whole situation going on, and Dorothy also realizing, just like the Tin Man and Scarecrow and the mean old line, I always had what I needed inside. I just had to believe in myself. I could have went home at any time just by clicking my heels 3 times, and you see her go home even stronger than she was before, ready to, you know, take on those New York streets, move, get a new job. I don't know. Have a 40th birthday party. Now, I do love the ending, but for how elaborate the movie is and that big journey we went on, I do wish that the ending, you know, was a bit more wapa, because, you know, the ending is, you know, it gets really, you know, dark, and you just have, you know, that standalone singing. I just wanted a little bit more, but I love it just the same. But you guys, that was my review for The Wiz. I absolutely love this movie. If you don't, because I had a couple of people, you reviewing The Wiz? Like, I hate that movie. Like, or I've never seen that movie. What you doing with yourself? Like, this movie is a treasure. As far as I'm concerned, it's something I'll go back to watch. It's something that I made sure, you know, my daughter watched. And it's relatable. If you can, you know, give it to someone from the later generation, a 5-year-old, and it captivates them and holds their attention to a certain extent, it's good, honey. This is from 1978. But, you know, you guys drop down and tell me what you think about my review. Tell me what you think about this movie. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I touched on everything. I have not seen this movie in a very long time. But I see you guys next time. Bye.